All right, series and cylinder bodybuilding. This is the second time I have a childhood friend on my channel. Mike Cuciniello. I've known this guy. I'm 49. I have to know you for 30 years at this point,
At least, yeah, we used to, yep, yep. About that.
right?
Yeah,
Did
40
you go
years.
to Atlas Gym?
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was Atlas. Yeah, 30 years because I was
We all first
19.
started, like, 15 years old, like, that's
Yeah.
we all got too busy in there. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. I was like 19, 18 or 19 when I joined Atlas Gym.
yep,
And you were part of the older crowd a little bit, and
yeah,
you were one of the big dudes in there. But we always one thing about you and I is we always stayed in love with bodybuilding.
absolutely. Yeah,
And now you were the owner and operator of Rare Breed Gym in Staten Island,
yeah,
and you also do contest prep and personal training in that gym. Is that right?
right. That's correct. Yep.
And uh, and this isn't your first gym. Like you've had several.
I actually bought the Atlas gym. We turned it into a powerhouse gym back then. So
That's right.
and then COVID hit, and then, we got
Oh,
messed up in there. Yeah,
yeah, I
so
remember. I used to go to that gym from time to time. When I used to visit my
yeah,
mother, I'd go to your gym.
yeah, we had a lot of people there. We had Palumbo came, Chris Cormier was there.
Yeah,
That all the
Clar-
animal guys were there, like with Eric Schwartz, he
I
brought
remember.
over.
Clarita was there, wasn't he?
Rita was there, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And did you have uh,
Jay Cutler was there. He came.
really?
Yeah, Jay Cutler was there. Evan Santapani came. Like we had a lot of guys.
That's a good. Wow. Okay.
Keem Williams was there.
He's a good dude. He goes to the gym that I go to now in Jersey,
Yeah,
strong and shapely.
yeah, and
He's a
that's
good.
when he first was like coming up. So Chris Cormier was there with Dave Palumbo. I was a day in the life of Dave Palumbo, and then Chris Cormier came, and they were doing like a little thing, and Akeem came in for a posing seminar with Chris
Okay.
in the gym.
So that's fantastic. Yeah, you pretty much got all the guys that I've interviewed. Although
Yeah,
I never had Evan Santopani on or Chris Cormier. I have Dave Palumbo on like a couple of times.
yeah.
I even went on his channel for the Olympia and covered the RX Muscle Live with King Kamali.
Oh, cool.
It was me, King
Yeah,
Kamali, Jason Arns, and Armana DB
that's
on
a
the
great
show.
crew right
Yeah,
there.
no, it was really good. It was
Yeah,
really good, man.
yeah.
So tell us about Rare Breed and the gym and the services you provide.
So the gym is built. I tried to go back to like an old school feel, but a newer type gym, because we all like the old school, but the money is being made. It can't be like the old gyms like we used to do. So, but I did make it that way with music and the equipment, and so it has competitive gym. We have a lot of competitors in here. A lot of people visit, from around, all over the place to come and train here. Blasting ACDC, so it kind of feels it feels pretty cool when you come in here.
Like when we used to go to Atlas.
Yeah, I try to play the same kind of vibe, and more of a community, I would say, than a gym. Like the people, everybody knows everybody in here, and we all help each other, and it's just a really good community.
That's the one thing that the new gyms don't have anymore. When you and I were young, when we first started, corporate gyms had just started.
Right.
You had Golds, but it really wasn't a corporate gym. It was more of a franchise. Corporate gyms really weren't strong yet, and you
Yeah.
had a lot of independent gyms. I remember we had Golds, we had Worlds. Worlds was on Richmond Avenue, right?
Yeah, Richmond Avenue.
It
Yeah,
was on Richmond Avenue. We had,
one on
of course.
Forest Avenue too. That was the Spencer brothers. Remember?
Oh yeah, I only trained there a couple of times. By the time I got to seriously train, they were closed.
Yeah.
Then they had, I think it was called Palms. Was it Palms?
Arms was, yeah. That was the old. It was the racquetball club. What was it? Before it turned to goals, then it turned to goals, and then it went to Crunch, right? I
I
think it
think
went
so. I
to,
think so.
yeah.
Oh no, 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 no. Before it was shit. Oh, no,
That thing changed like hands about 10 times.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Before Golds, it was, oh my God.
Some kind of racket club.
Yeah, I fucking forgot. You know what's funny is that my father was never like into working out. And when we had moved to Staten Island, the doctor's like, you got to get in shape, whatever, blah, blah. And he joined Courts of Appeal.
What's to
That's
appeal?
what it
That was
was. It
it.
was
Yeah, yeah,
Courts of Appeal.
yeah.
He joined Courts of Appeal. They paid for the year. And I remember he paid $500 back then
Yeah,
for the year. That
yeah,
was a lot of money. And he
yeah.
never went, not once.
That's what happens a lot of times. Yeah, a lot of people do that. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
But one thing that is missing in most gyms now, because of the corporate gyms, is the community.
Yeah.
And the you know the bonding that goes on and so on and so forth. And I see it all the time, right? Because I go to Strong and Shapely, and it's still there for the most part.
Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
your gym is probably more so than the new owner is really concentrating more on, like you said, he seems to be concentrating more on getting like more aerobic things in and mixed
Right.
martial
Right.
arts in. He's trying to sounds like it looks like he's trying to make money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I get it. I fully get it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the people that train there still have that attitude. But when you go to the majority of gyms today that people go to, Retros, LA Fitness, New York Sports Club,
Yeah.
Crunch, even Planet Fitness, there is, and the problem with that is we used to learn from each other.
That's the big thing. Like, so that's exactly what I'm trying to create here. So, I have a lot of competitive competitors that I trained, and now they're trainers in my gym.
Right.
So it's kind of passing the knowledge down, and we built a team that way. But it's not even with that; it's with the football players, the hockey players. I got MMA guys, boxing guys.
Really.
So I train people in the NHL. So I have a lot of different guys I train. So the community grew not just in bodybuilding, but in everything.
And athletics in general. That's
And then the
fantastic.
transformations obviously is like our biggest thing. Like I do a lot of transformations, which is regular people that come
Right.
in. We do the nutrition for them. So that's really good too.
That's fantastic. And um, I think the worst part of these corporate gyms, because I go to an LA Fitness as well, right?
Right.
And the reason why I go to LA Fitness is my mother still lives in Eltingville, and
Right.
there's an LA Fitness right around the corner.
Yeah.
So when I go visit her, I can go right around the corner,
Yeah.
right? But the worst part is people don't even know how to spot somebody. And I mean, they will be standing behind the barbell on their phone
It's
while that
great.
while their friend is bench pressing, or they will spot somebody squatting from the bar, and it's like, dude, you're not gonna lift 300-400 pounds off the
Right.
guy's, you know.
Right.
And it's just a fucking accident waiting to happen. And it's frustrating, but it's not really this generation's fault. They never went to a gym like we used to go to, or type of gym that you own now.
Exactly. It's I see it when they come in, but in this gym right now, people come in here like the serious people are coming in. Like so, like if they see like the competitors on the wall, I have them all posted up on the wall, and when they see that, it gets that vibe of, hey, you know what, I want to look like that. Like, what do I got to do?
Hmm.
So we wound up getting one of the trainers, or I train them myself, and then next thing you know, they're into the transformation. Now they're doing a contest prep, and they're going out there and getting them a show.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Like that I could pay back what we learned through all those years that I could give back to the community, this way.
Okay. Let's let's go through Instagram, how people could get in touch with you, the address, and then afterwards we'll have some fun talk about the
Okay.
Pittsburgh Bro coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Rare Breed X Bodies. That's my personal. That's my competition team.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Oh,
You got that one,
I
and then
got
the
it.
other one is it's Rare Breed Fitness Club. That's the gym.
Rare Breed Fitness Club. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that that is in the description, so
Yeah,
people could just click and go
yeah.
and talk about these services you offer. You obviously offer contest prep.
Yeah, so we do transformations. We're doing high rocks right now. So we got people getting ready for high rocks. I don't know if you know what that is.
No, what is that?
Kind of like a new CrossFit competition type thing going on. So it's in New York City. It's pretty badass. So we have a couple of good trainers, really high rock certified, that are building a team with that. So that's working out really well. We have that going on. We have Muay Thai kickboxing going on right now. We have a trainer here.
Very cool.
He does boxing Muay Thai, so we have both. Contest prep, obviously, that's our thing. And then I have sports performance where I do, football players, baseball players, hockey players. So we got the younger kids. We're teaching them, how to get in shape, how to eat, how to, the whole thing.
You offer a hell of a lot, to be honest with you. I didn't even realize you offered that much.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That should definitely. I mean, I know you're successful in the last few years, but that formula to me seems like it's going to be a continued success and a growing success in the next few years. That's for sure.
Yeah,
because I mean, like, think about it. If I'm a guy and I like to work out, but I have a kid and my kid wants to Muay Thai or wants to box, and I could literally kill two birds with one stone, right?
yeah, that's
Or
yeah,
or the couples that come in and they want to do a transformation, they're out of shape and they want to do a transformation, and you have personal trainers there and so on and so forth. So you offer pretty much everything, which is
right.
it's a tremendous business ethic, that's for sure.
Even my own son, like because I was taking him to class and noodle up, and the gym's in Eltonville, so I have to drive 20 minutes, like to take him there. I'm rushing all over the place.
Yeah.
Now it's like right in my gym. I'm able to, like, while I'm training somebody, my son's doing an hour and a half of Muay Thai.
How old is your son now?
He's 14, so
Jesus Christ.
he's into working out. He stays in here now. He does his own thing in here now. So
Fuck, I'm getting old.
good.
14.
Yeah, bro.
Heck, you remember when you first met him?
Time
Jesus.
is flying, man. It's going right by.
What's the address to the place?
It's 75 Putnam Street,
Okay.
Staten Island, New York, 10312. And we're in Eltonville, right behind Wendy's. That's how everybody knows the Wendy's right now. Well, you know what a Burger King is on Richmond
Oh
Avenue?
my God, it's Wendy's now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amboy and Richmond, like we're right in that new shopping center, Eltonville Plaza,
Okay. All right. I know what you're
new
talking about.
building. Yeah.
And what's the number to the place so people could give you guys a
Uh,
call?
I gotta get away.
Oh yeah. I do the
I'm
same thing,
horrible with
bro.
that, man.
I do the same thing because all this information I'm going to put in the description area so people could just contact you. Don't
Get that for you. I'm the worst. You know what? I don't even have it in my phone. Yeah.
worry about it. I'll look it up and put it in the description. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But here's the thing that I want people to understand is that you've been in the game for over 30 years and you've been training people, even though but before you had the gym, you used to do it on the side. This is a love and a passion for you.
Yeah.
This
Absolutely.
is this is not where it where I took the direction in where I filled the void of not competing anymore with the podcast. You took the direction in not competing anymore in the gym and the training and the contest prep and developing a business out of it because
Right.
you competed yourself as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
And if I'm accurate, it was you did all natural shows. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're all natural. Yeah.
You did, and do you still do all natural, or do you go back and forth to NPC and all natural?
We're going into NPC now because they
Mhm.
got a natural organization now. Like,
Really?
yeah, so they just started a new thing with the Ben Weeder is going to be like, their big shows now. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so I have 97 pros. I train natural pros right now from all over the country. So what I'm going to do is, start putting them into that, like, so they can start going.
So not only do you train people, but you're honorable because you're like, I don't train guys that are on any kind of performance enhancement drugs. You have to be natural.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean that's unheard of.
Yeah, actually, one of my guys, Earl Mosley, he was in the Arnold Classic Amateur, and he got first call outs with Sam Sulik.
Really?
Yeah, he came in fifth, and he's
Wow.
natural. Yeah, he's
Wow.
natural. And then I had another guy who did the Amateur Olympia. He was second call outs. He came in sixth, and
Wow. Really?
yeah, Javante Greenridge. Yeah, so he's another killer.
Well,
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. All natural
yeah,
because usually, especially the young kids, they want to jump on right away. They don't even ask you about diet. They go, what can I take? What can,
yeah. That's
that they
it.
don't,
So
and most,
that was kind of like my niche, like when we were younger, my mother passed away when she was 47,
mm,
kidney failure, kidney disease. So, I knew right away, like, listen, I can't mess around. If that triggers something off,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna be in
and we've
trouble.
seen it. We've
Yeah.
seen it. We've
So
seen it with young guys that they don't know they have something,
yeah,
and then they're on a massive cycle, and then like Dallas McCarver. I mean,
right.
Rich Piana.
Yeah.
You can go down the list.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but that's honorable and it's admirable that you do that, man. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So let's just jump into because I know you follow bodybuilding just like I do, man.
Yeah.
Hardcore bodybuilding fan. This weekend coming up is the Pittsburgh Pro, as everybody knows, and it is stacked. And it's stacked because they're offering a lot of money.
Yeah.
The prize money has gone up tremendously in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So it is stacked, and you got obviously the big names are Derek Lunsford, Nick Walker, uh, Good Vito, Mike Crizzo, Martin Fitzwater,
Yeah.
William Bonac, And then the other name that stuck out that I when I was looking at the competitor list was Vincent. He's from Long Island.
Oh, Menzone.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a big boy, man. He's
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was at my gym. He actually came with Santapani because he was with Animal at the time.
Ah,
So they did an animal event at my gym at Powerhouse when I owned the Powerhouse, and he walked in, and we were just like the whole gym was like, what is that?"
yeah.
It's like
Yeah. I met him.
he's
I met
tall
him in
too.
person once, and it's like a building is in front of you. He's a
He's
huge human
huge.
being.
He's
His
huge.
back is just.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how good he's going to do against these guys, right? Because this is pretty much the best of the best.
yeah,
The only guys missing is Hottie and
yeah.
Andrew Jackson and Samson Dowda. Otherwise, you got to
They're
Olympia
putting
lineup.
good Vito and Nick Walker side by side a lot. I see, but
Yeah,
I think that when they do that, it's a picture, so you can't really tell. Like, and it's
God's
not peak
honest truth.
week, and a lot could happen from in that peak week where they start to dry out more and more. So
Yeah,
good Vito looks great, and Nick Walker, his pitch is not the same because they're using the same pitcher
yeah.
with the lighting and everything like that. So I think that's going to be a lot closer, like close, but
Yeah, I'm just guys like Good Vito and Mike Crizzo. They don't seem to transition well on stage. On Instagram, they look great,
right,
and
right,
then when they get on stage, you're like, oh, what happened? Like Good Vito won that Arnold Classic Brazil, but
yeah,
there was nobody. There was
yeah.
no competition.
And Crizzo looks like a monster when you see him on, on Instagram. You're like,
Yeah,
his arms and shoulders are like, what the,
it's the
what the
truth.
fuck is going on there?
Yeah, and then a lot of these guys they just don't transition well onto the stage. Now, I'm hoping that that's not the case with these guys because
Yeah,
when you're a real hardcore bodybuilding fan, you want to see the best of the best compete.
right.
And we also have Bonac, right?
Yeah, I
And
mean, you can't count him out. But
you
I
can
mean, obviously,
never.
Derek's going to be the leader, the front runner, I would think.
Yeah, Derek. See if you agree with me with this. Derek has probably in the top five rear double by shots of all time.
Yeah, it's just tight, really tight. Like his glute area, his hamstrings, his like his lower back, he's wide. Like he's a bit, he's got
Yeah,
it all.
because
You know?
you can compare his rear double by to Phil Heath's. You can compare his rear double by to what was his name? It was Mr. Olympia in the 80s, the Lebanese Lion.
Oh, Samir,
Samir, because
yeah,
Samir's rear double by was
crazy.
insane,
I
insane.
mean, till today, the craziest one I ever seen in person live was obviously Ronnie Coleman,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Ronnie's on another.
it's
Ronnie's on
another planet. I
another.
mean, I couldn't believe like when I seen him in person, like how big that back was. And I tell you what, Dorian Yates was another one. Back then, it was the Night of Champions, right? So
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
seen him when he first came up, and I was like, what the fuck? But
yeah.
I haven't seen anything like that. Like
Those two guys broke the mold. But
yeah, totally
Ronnie is
different.
in. I hate comparing anybody to today to Ronnie because comparing a bodybuilder today to Ronnie is like comparing a basketball player to Michael Jordan.
It's just not. It's.
Yeah,
I don't think we're ever going to see that again. To be honest,
exactly,
it's
exactly.
just
Like
not.
a relief pitcher to Mariano Rivera. It's just not gonna.
It's
Don't
not.
even put him in the
No,
conversation.
I agree with that. And
You
I'll tell
know.
you what, a sleeper back that I seen back in the day in person, maybe you'll agree, maybe you're not, but Aaron Baker had one of the best backs I seen.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you were
He,
gonna say Stubbs, Joel Stubbs, but Aaron
Stubbs was
Baker.
great too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But Aaron Baker's back in person, like, was another, that back double bicep was insane.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. So some of these guys just were destined to be bodybuilders,
Yeah. Kevin
and
Jones, man. He's like,
yeah, and you could
yeah,
tell too when they're young. Like when they're young, you could tell that like I have Lee Priest on the show all the time, and
yeah.
I mean, when he was 13, he was competing. He was just
Oh my God. He was probably, I mean, one of the most genetically gifted guys I think you ever seen, right? Like when he
yeah,
was coming up at that age with those arms and those,
yeah,
he was just on a different planet, man.
yeah,
Like you see this kid coming up, and even Jay Cutler spoke about it. You remember on that interview, he was
yeah,
saying like Lee Priest is like, and I agree. Like I remember when we were kids, when we were younger, we saw Lee Priest on that stage, and I remember like I was at Night of Champions, or I forgot what show it was, but I was there in the audience, and Lee, I obviously I didn't know him, but he sat down like a couple of seats next to me, and he must have been 300 pounds.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I'm talking like this. he sat in a seat and he had to sit sideways. And then
Yeah,
Paul DeLippe came in and he was sitting next to him, and his shoulders were taking up like three seats.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, these guys were they were like dinosaurs. And then NASA was another one,
Oh,
right?
it
I mean, these
was
guys were a different planet.
the 90s are arguably probably the greatest period of bodybuilding. You just had this
Oh,
talent. You just
crazy.
had this talent that is just tremendous. And I'm not taking anything away from the guys today. The guys today, I think, are a close second. The talent coming up today is unbelievable.
It's great. But you know what? You go back to, we were speaking about this a while back, but you go back to like the 91 Nationals, right? And you look at that lineup. I mean, Kevin LeBron was in it. Ronnie Coleman was in it.
Yeah.
Flex Wheeler was in it. Uh, Paul DeLippe, no, not Paul, Paul DeMeo was in it,
Oh God, yeah.
right? And then you had Matt Mendenhall was in it.
Jesus.
You know, so you had like guys in there that are all superstars, basically. You know, they're all top of the line. You know, and think about like the pro cards they gave out back then. If you saw, when
You
we
had to
were
win.
younger,
You had to
I mean,
win.
I would drive out to Jersey just to see Rich Gaspari train.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be like, that's the only pro in the neighborhood. Him and Santoriello and Jason Arts, right? Those were the only three,
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
right? So
Even Dave Palumbo couldn't get a card. Back
yeah,
then, it was you won. If you didn't win, you got nothing. And there was no other categories. There was no
right,
classic. There was no
right.
classic physique. Nothing like that. If it was,
Crazy.
there was
It
no
was awesome.
physique rather, and there was no masters. If you didn't win a bodybuilding national level show, you didn't get a pro card.
Yeah,
So
well, they gave out three, right? They give out three cards a year, I think.
yeah,
That's what
it
they
was
got,
ridiculous.
right?
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
And so immediately, as soon as you won a pro card, you were the best of the best. And a lot of times, these guys were on the Arnold stage and the Olympia stage within that first year,
I mean, yeah,
because
top of
now
the
it's
line.
so watered down.
Oh, it's crazy.
I still believe the cream rises to the top, though. Right?
Always, always, yeah.
Yeah. So even though they give out cards to, like, first, second, sometimes even third place, you can
But the
get one.
difference is like you go into a gym now, there's 15, 20 pros, like, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we had to find a pro in the neighborhood. Or if, if I remember like guest posing when Lee Haney came to Staten Island, Mr. Staten Island show, you remember? And Lee
That
Haney
was a little bit
came.
before me, but yeah.
Yeah, but everybody would like, be like, oh man, the pros come, Lee Haney's, so it was like, and then Lee Labrada came one time and it was just,
Yeah.
it's like seeing a dinosaur, and then you like,
Yeah, it
you
was,
know what I mean?
and they could walk into any gym and not have to pay and
Right.
just work out. And today it was, Lee Priest told me a story that a couple of years ago he went to Gold's Gym and the kid at the front didn't know who he was and he charged him.
That happened to who that happened to Dorian Yates, I heard in California, right in Venice Beach. I think he said he went in there
Probably,
and he was telling the guy, I think I was watching him say it. He's telling the guy, the guy's like, oh, whatever the money is. And he goes, well, I usually don't pay in the gym. And the guy goes, well, who are you? He goes, I'm a pro. He goes, yeah, there's a lot of pros. He goes, yeah, but he goes, yeah, but I'm up on the wall over there to Mr. Olympia. He's like, and then the owner came out, freaked out on the kid, so
Yeah, they just don't. Well, you can't really blame the kid. They don't know,
they don't know.
right?
Yeah,
They don't know unless you're a real hardcore fan and you're looking back,
yeah. That's
at
funny,
who.
like for us, like, not knowing Dorian Yates is like, what? You don't know
Yeah, it's like it's
Pete Priest, you
insane.
don't know,
Yeah, yeah. That happened to me
so,
once. I used to work backstage at the NPC shows, and I saw you a couple of times.
yeah.
And I was working with this kid. We were working the door Team Universe, and Flex Wheeler. This is before he lost his leg. He comes walking in, and he says to the kid, goes, "Where's your wristband?" And Flex is like, "I don't need one." He's like, We don't need one. You need one." And then I caught him. I was like, "No, no, no, no. He's good. He's good. He's good."
That's funny, man. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
that's
just
innocent. I mean, but it's like, to us, it's like what,
oh, it's unbelievable. But it's become another thing that bothers me about the sport today is that it has become like it's the only hobby that you could get into that you don't know who the best of the best is. Like if I was on a men's softball league, I would most of 99% of those guys are gonna know who the best baseball players are.
Right.
If you golf on the weekends, you're gonna know who the best golfers are. You're gonna follow their if you're on a men's basketball league, you're gonna follow the NBA.
Right.
With guys that work out, they have no fucking they couldn't tell you who Mr. Olympia is. They
Yeah.
couldn't even tell you what the contest is. They might know some YouTube shithead like the Trend Twins or something like
Yeah.
that. They
Yeah.
and,
That's
and
what I'm
you
saying,
know,
man.
and it's like I just that baffles me. I'm like, you don't know who the best in the world is, but you're in the gym every day,
It's like you think by now, like it would be so mainstream, like, and like, so more advanced than it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's getting, more advanced, but I still feel there's so much more to go. And like you said, like, in the gyms, most gyms, like you said, nobody knows who these guys are. Like,
No
they
clue.
don't
I have
they
no
don't even
idea.
know when the Mr. Olympia is, or
No,
the,
they really don't.
unless you're in that kind of cult like it was back in the day.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's really the same thing. Except we get
Yeah.
older, and you get a couple of new guys coming in.
And you know, it's there's a lot of social media fitness personalities. And don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, I'm taking advantage of myself, right?
Right.
I'm all over YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and blah blah blah. I'm taking advantage of it myself, but it used to be that you had to accomplish something to become famous.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
just
Just could be
if
famous doing anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
now it's just if your Instagram blows up, that's it.
I think that also, with bodybuilding, I think like they really never we never hit, we gotta say, like, because we're part of the community, but never hit like that high level of marketing with like Nike or Under Armour,
Yeah.
like those type of things that bring money to the athletes, like,
Yeah.
because they're not making the money they should. These guys are like sacrificing their whole life all day and night, 24/7.
Yeah.
And the money they're making, unless you're in the top five, what do you really, how many guys do you know that do this and they make nothing in the end?
On
You
my on my I have a panel show every Wednesday night and it comes out every Thursday and I have all pro bodybuilders. I'm the only one
know?
who's
Right.
not pro. And with the exception of Lee Priest, they all have a job. Every
Yeah.
one of them. They all
Yeah.
have a job. I have a Luke, he's a pro bodybuilder. He works on the I think the LIRR.
Right.
Um Jason Arns, he has a supplement line, which is constantly traveling and trying to expand the supplement line.
Right.
Dorian Haywood, he's a chiropractor.
Right.
Bo Lewis, he's a personal trainer. Um,
And that's what I mean.
they don't have a choice.
Yeah. And you're a professional. This is what I'm trying. And this is what happens when the sport is watered down. Like, right, like we say, it's watered down because there's so many different pros.
Yeah,
But there also is like, these guys could be models, these girls could be models. They could be something like out there to let them get into more mainstream. I think what happens is the focus gets too much into the bodybuilding, and they forget about what they can use their body to market for.
right.
Like, how do you connect with Nike? How do you connect with Under Armour or Adidas? Or, like, every sport has it, right? Every sport that you think
Yeah.
about that plays, every professional sport, I should say, right, is sponsored by some of these high end.
Major companies.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that we are the only sport that admits to using PEDs, and
Yeah. I think that.
they don't want any part of that. Even
Yeah.
though we know it's all bullshit, we all know football players and baseball
Everybody.
players, they
Yeah,
all
they're all doing
fucking
it.
use it. I mean, race car drivers use fucking steroid.
Tiger Woods was using it for his eye. Like, what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can't, it's every sport. I don't care what
But
sport it is,
it's
right?
deny, where we're the only sport where it's like, yeah,
Well, it is too. We're the only sport that really studies the body and understands like how to make the body grow with it,
that's true. Yeah,
right? So I mean,
yeah,
like a lot of you talk to a lot of coaches, but they're smarter than some of the doctors that are out there, right?
100%.
These doctors don't even know what they're talking about when it comes to that. Like,
Yeah, no, they don't know
the
because
nutrition,
they
everything.
never
Like,
had to study it. They basically study pharmacology and
yeah,
a common cold, and then they go. The
yeah.
doctor I go to, you probably know him because he's from Staten Island. We used to go to Gold's Gym when we used to go. It was
Oh,
a John Zafferanalo.
yeah, it's my doctor too.
Yeah, he's always your doctor. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Everybody goes to John. He's
Yeah, it's so he knows what he's doing. Like
John's good. Well, John's an old school bodybuilder, like, he
right.
was out with us back in the day. Like,
Yeah,
we all stuck by him, and he studied it. He studied what, he understood.
he knows exact. I could just give him a call too out of the blue, and he's like, yeah, no problem.
He's the best.
Whatever. He's a
The
great,
best.
great guy and a great doctor too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, what's the next show you got competitors coming on, going into rather?
We just had a show yesterday. It was in Brick, New Jersey, natural show, and then we had one of our girls win the overall. So
Fantastic.
we have a good stronghold, like, on natural bodybuilding. We
Really?
every team we every.
When's the next one? I gotta get to. I have not. The last show I was at was fucking New York Pro last year. I have
We
not
have
gone.
one. The next one is going to Boston, like
Oh,
out there in Mass, like, and then I'll let you know when the ones are close over here.
all right, cool. Yeah,
There's good.
definitely.
There's good competition. In some of the natural shows, there's really good competition. The guys come and shred it,
Yeah,
So it's like, when you get to the high level pros, they're pretty good, man. They're not obviously as big as
Yeah.
the other guys, but they come in with this crazy conditioning. Like most of our guys come in sick, like 3% body fat. And we get questioned all the time. They get, but it's just a longer process. Like, the diet has to be a lot longer, and it just has to be really perfected. You can't make a mistake.
Yeah. And it's unbelievable how people don't understand the pain
Oh,
that it gets to get that body fat down to that.
yeah.
It gets to the point
Oh,
where it's unhealthy and it can only stay like that for a short window of time.
it's really unhealthy.
It
Like I
really,
actually, when a client calls me, I actually try to talk them out of doing a prep. And I'm like, just do a body transformation because you don't know what you get yourself into.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
gonna, you're gonna suffer. And if you're prepared, I try to talk to them about being prepared for what's to come
Yeah.
because it's going to be a lot different than when you're thinking. You're just really amped up to get into a show, but you don't know what it takes to get into that show.
Yeah, baby
Right?
steps, buddy. Baby steps.
Start as a transformation guy,
Right.
and then see what happens from there. If
All
you
right.
get past that point, then you can start moving into a prep.
All right. Sounds good, man. Okay, so Instagram, Rare Breed X Bodies,
Yep,
Rare Breed Fitness Club,
yep,
Rare Breed Gym, 75 Putnam, Staten Island, New York, and my friend Mike Cuciniello, he is there and he's awaiting everybody's call.
yeah. Looking forward to
Um,
seeing everybody there. Yeah,
But yeah, man, we've known each other for an extremely long time,
yeah.
and all the best and all the respect in the world to you, man. Really, and
I'll make
all the
you.
success.
I'm gonna make you a pass over here free whenever you want to come, bro.
You know what? I gotta get there because I, I,
Yeah,
I do come into Staten Island because my mother's she's 90 years old. She's still alive. She still lives in the same fucking
in
house
Eltingville. This little
in,
Eltingville.
in Eltingville. Yeah, she still
Yeah.
lives there.
What
So
part of Eltingville? Where?
she is right behind the Golden Dove Diner.
Oh, so yeah, we're right here.
Yeah,
Yeah, right here. Yeah,
yeah. So next time I come in, I'll
yeah. Come
stop
in.
by and go in because I used to go into your old gym. I have not gone to Rare Breed, but I am
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll make you a card. Then when you come in this way, you can use it. Whenever you want to come in, you come in.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
Hold on, we're gonna end this, but then I want to talk to you right after. So
yeah.
here we go.